Hi, Henry Haddad, immigration and business lawyer here in Los Angeles for over 34 years, handled many cases, many immigrants, came to the United States to establish permanent residency, and who after a period of time became U.S. citizens. Today's topic is about becoming a U.S. citizen, what we call the naturalization process. And let me just give you a quick primer with basic information on it. Becoming a naturalized U.S. citizen. What does it take? Well, you must have been a lawful permanent resident and have been a lawful permanent resident, LPR, for at least 3 years or 5 years. 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen for that period of time. 5 years if you got your residency through any other means, whether it was your parent, your child, employment, asylum, whatever means you got your residency. It's usually 5 years, unless your spouse, your U.S. citizen husband or wife, have been with you for 3 years, living together as husband and wife for 3 years, basically. That's the first requirement. 5 years, 3 years. Out of the 5 years or 3 years, you have to have physical presence in the U.S. In other words, you can't just get your green card, your residency, and spend 2 or 3 years outside the U.S., coming to the U.S. once 1 month out of the year, once a year, or 2 months out of the year, where the majority of time you spent outside in your home country or outside anywhere in the world. So your physical presence must be established for this period of time that you were in the United States. And the best way to look at it is if you have 6 months on, 6 months off, you basically qualify for naturalization. That's the easiest way to think of it. But for every exit, every entrance, the USCIS, Customs and Border Patrol, keeps a record so they know how long you've been outside the U.S. Next would be you have to have lawful presence here in the United States. Certain criminal convictions make you ineligible. These have to be examined. Typically aggravated felonies, other types of felonies, some misdemeanors, rarely, but some. If you have over 2 misdemeanors, then perhaps that's going to be a problem. Are you current in your taxes? Do you owe any taxes? Are you lawful? Do you have any problems with the U.S. government in any matter that can make you ineligible? And child and spousal support, primarily child support. Are you current in your support payments? If that's your situation, that establishes whether or not you're lawful. Then there's a catch-all phrase of moral turpitude. Are you the kind of person that would be more harmful if we allowed you to become a citizen of the United States? Are you going to be a positive influence in the United States? And this is a general category that involves these activities, whether you have convictions or not. Sometimes it's about whether or not you registered for the Selective Service. Failure to do so makes you a person that doesn't follow the rules and laws of this country. Failure to pay support falls within this category. Or perhaps you had many arrests. You had many arrests but no convictions, but these arrests show a pattern for perhaps being a drunkard, engaging in illegal gambling activities, any illegal activity. The combination of all these arrests could make you a person who doesn't have a good moral conscience, and you may not be eligible, but that's up to the immigration officer interviewing you. If you meet these basic requirements, you apply for the naturalization application. You have to have be given a U.S. history test, basically 10 questions, out of which you have to get 6 correct. And the USCIS website has a list of all these questions, the history of the United States, basic information that you should know. And you should have English proficiency in writing and speaking. And this part is really flexible and it's not that difficult. You don't have to have a high school level of English, but you have to be able to communicate in English. Stand up, sit down, yes sir, no sir, follow instructions in English, be able to communicate basic information about yourself in English, and of course pass the U.S. history exam. And the writing part is simple. It's not a complicated writing. You don't have to write a paragraph. Sometimes a simple sentence like, California is a beautiful state, is enough for you to pass this part of the exam. So overall, if you've been a lawful resident for 5 years, or 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you should definitely apply for naturalization if your intention is to remain in the United States. The benefit of becoming a U.S. citizen are tremendous. First and foremost is the ability to vote, to travel, to spend time outside the U.S., to be a citizen, to be a participant of this great nation. Thank you, and this is just a primer. There are A lot more complications than this, but this is just the basic information. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.